Any chases? Chases?
Never saw you in the king crab before. You're welcome to scratch me behind the ears if you like. I won't scratch back. I am Unsinkable Sam. At least that's what they call me around here. Used to be a ship's cat, but the clipper I was on sank, and I was the only one to wrestle himself free from the waves. The people here were kind and took me in. Been the king crab's foremost patron ever since. So I was. What friends I had. They drowned alongside the rats I used to hunt in the galley. And there I was, all alone. Not that I have it bad here, mind you. I've milk and fish aplenty. Most folks will pet me kindly, and when one of the village girls holds me tight against her ample bosom, I purr up a storm. But I do long for a companion of my own kind. And in that regard, there is no one like Maxine. A magnificent ship she was. Used to belong to a pirate, I was told. Unlike me, she didn't prove to be unsinkable, though. We hit the cliffs right neath the lighthouse. Not very apt a name for that building, I must say, for no light was shining from it. The moment I hit the water, I writhed around like I would on a hot tin roof. By some miracle, I managed to reach the beach, covered in kelp and smelling worse than a fish's funeral parlor. But I was alive, and that was more than anybody else could say. Maxine, the mayor's darling pet. So gentle, so fair a feline. The grace of her whiskers, the subtle palette of dyes in her sable coat. She's one of a kind, that cat. She likes me. I know she does. But when I declare my love, she backs away. I don't know why. I've serenaded her and braved many a bucket of water for my efforts. But for some reason, she is not to be swayed. Oscar, you say? I haven't been called Oscar in ages. Boy, does that bring back memories. It's the name the ship's cook gave me when I was but a kitten. I remember him rewarding me with bacon every time I caught another rat. And I remember listening to a fellow called Ebenezer, who used to tell me the wildest stories. A strange bird, that one. Used to indulge in every pleasure of life like there was no tomorrow. Guess there was no tomorrow for him, come to think of it. He would talk everyone's ears off about the delights of fine dining, his fascination with new fashions, about the elation of lovemaking, and so on and so forth. To me, though, never suspecting his revelations would be stored in my mind, he'd whisper of the shadow sides of his indulgent character. Fine dining, yes, on human flesh even. New fashions, sure, even if they meant the annihilation of a species for its hides. Lovemaking, indeed. But sometimes the girls were very young and suffered delicate tortures. Some died in his special chambers, but would still be used. A strange bird, as I'm sure you'll agree. If he were a bit smaller, I might have caught him like I would a sparrow and rid the world of his hidden evils. By all means.
That purring sound. Mind control vibrations, I'm sure. Don't be seduced, comrades.
That cat is a miracle of creation. Don't you dare befoul it with your moronic delusions.
Who placed this book here? A volume of poetry among novels? Urak! What mayhem! placed this book here? A volume of poetry among novels? Urrak! We'll have none of that, you hear? Kaj'Dinor. A brief history of sorcery still hasn't been returned. Teleron will have to pay yet another fine.
Golly gosh! One who flaunts the highways and byways of silly old Sicile with the easy elegance of a puss with her tail in the air. I do declare such a sight is rather rare around here. But where are my manners? I am Maxine, and you must be one of those hunters one hears so much about. Charmed, I'm sure. Oh, he's a darling old Tom, isn't he? Paws over tails in love with me, and who can blame him? The feeling's, well, it's rather mutual, actually. But that pet of a puss simply doesn't have a penny to his name. At the risk of sounding as shallow as a spaniel, I can't but admit my love does not come unconditionally. What if we were to have kittens, he and I? They'd jolly well starve, wouldn't they, with an alley cat for a papa? Oh, dear Sam, he's such a good old bean. But he does rather reside at the bottom of the scratching pole, doesn't he? And dear me, one must have at least a mite of standards.
I wouldn't trust a cat as far as I could throw it. And I'm a world lead.
I think I'll sleep by the fire tonight. Aye, so there's the rub. I am but a stray, and she is the mayor's cat. Oh, I do understand her, I do. She wants a Tom of means, not privation. One who brings home the sardines and the occasional halibut. Would that I still had my collar. Such a marvel it was, as bejeweled as the night sky with precious stones, said to have once been worn by a far-off Maharaja's best hunting cheater. Like the king of all cats I looked when I wore it. A gift bestowed upon me by a princess whom I had kept company during a long and perilous voyage. A precious band of gemstones, lost as I was tossed around by the waves like a ball in a game of catch. Among the waves it remains, I imagine. Worn perhaps by a crab who fancies himself a Caesar with it. If only I could be the Caesar again, and Maxine my winking whiskers! You found my collar? Oh, thank you! Bless you! I shall don it right this instant, and hie me to Maxine as fast as my paws can carry me. You have made me the happiest cat in the world! Indeed you have!
Fresh haddock! Perfect for a fry-up!
Maxine, my love, look at me. I am wearing it. The collar I told you about. The one you told me was but the fancy of a dream. Here it is. A band of jewels, such as no one in Sicile has ever beheld.
Dear me, but that choker looks absolutely fabulous on you. Simply smashing. I can't believe it's real. Oh, darling Sam, you are a Tom of means after all.
That I am, my little tigress. Behold my true collar, and marry me. Make me yours, and my very life I shall dedicate to your happiness.
Oh, what a passionate puss you are, my darling Sam. As impetuous as ever. But indeed you do seem to have the right and reason to be. Oh, I shall hold you in suspense no longer. Yes, my dear Sam, I will marry you.
With a word, you have stopped my heart and set it beating anew with untold vigor. Come, my love, my lean-tailed lady. By the fire of the hearth, let us lie and purr the night away.
And so Sam's story has a happy...
It wouldn't have if we...
What a cynical thing to...
Fresh haddock. Perfect for a fry-up. Join us.
Here I wait for thee in the dark. Yes. Yes. Have
Yes.
So it is. So it is. By Angus, the Impaler's favourite steak, you done well by me. Oh, Ravager of Gazaldagar, the last of their line is dead. The House of Gandavan has been avenged. Sweet flowing blood. The quest of decay is at an end. My wealth is yours. My life is death's. By the hollow sockets of the voidwood eye gouger, I bid thee thanks and fond farewell.
With many cheeses.
You, again. Do feel free to depart from Sicil at your earliest convenience. If you must. What'd you take me for? An ignoramus? That accursed name rings a goddamn Carillion. He was the last sorcerer king, a frightful warrior that fell dozens before finally being slain by the army that had risen against him. We may well stand on unholy ground right now, for they say his remains were buried in what is now Sicil, a mad king for a mad city. So, let me get this straight. There are insidious sorcerers running about town that turned a council ambassador into a zombie for sport, after said councillor was murdered by some mystery witch who subsequently trotted off to her cabin in Luculla Woods. Sure you haven't omitted relevant details like flying brooms, black cats, and bloody pentagrams? By Belagar's nebbers. Sounds like a fantasy tale mothers tell their children before bed. And I bet none of it's more than fantasy either. Though no doubt Ahu puts stock in your every word. Anyway, be these truths, half-truths, or outright lies, it seems to me your business in Sicil is concluded. Don't let the undead hit you on the way out. I'm Captain Orp.
Divines doubly bless you, friend. This cannot be. Can it? You have found one of the sources of the undead and sent it back into oblivion. But that is fantastic. Never have I seen such heroism. Hope breaks through after 2 years of absolute darkness. Sicil remains under threat, yes, but finally it has been proven even the dead can be vanquished. To think, Theliron too was behind these horrors all along. A man who treated the wounds I obtained in battle, who comforted me when my agony was great. Such a pity. Sicil is in your debt, Hunter. I, and the Legion too. Brachus Rex is dead, and no one but you could have done this glorious deed.
Beauty's not so bad. Hey, would be quite a bit better if I could do it in peace. Just making conversation.
By the gods! She killed them!
They're dead.
And they might have lived if we hadn't intervened. Those fools are dead! I knew that she-beast would bring disaster. It was that orc. She snapped, grabbed them, popped their necks, and then ran out of here like a wild... By the gods! She killed them!
Go on, then,
There's something
Ed.
to it, isn't
Speak your
there?
piece.
Strange. Strange indeed.
That's it, kiddo. Explore as much as you can while you've got that youthful vim and vigor about you. Life is a wonderful thing. How could you? Those are lies. It was the ultimate pleasure. Oh, how could I hang back if there were even rarer, even more exquisite elations to pursue? How can I let any morsel of satisfaction go untasted in this brief mortal coil? Surely now you understand why I could never submit myself to the judgment awaiting me at the gates of the Hall of Echoes. No. I prefer to remain here for an eternity with a few of my senses, a few of my more delectable memories, than risk being cast into hell.
There's something to it, isn't there?
Go on then, Ebb. Speak your piece.
Strange indeed.
I certainly won't stop him from spending an eternity in this cemetery if he wishes.
This monster shouldn't be afforded the luxury of escaping judgment. He granted no luxury to his victim.
Regardless of where Ebenezer spends eternity.
Who knows what kind of mischief this sadistic soul...
No, we'll do as I...
Ah, you must be, like me, a fully fledged friend to experience. Ha! Leave paradise to those who lived safe and small, who never risked tipping the great scales out of their favor. To life!
Strange indeed.
That's it, kiddo. How did Shirley now?
If he stays here...
Agreed. Ebenezer will not endure...
Is that so? Is that what you really believe, Source Hunter? Well, forget divine judgment.
explosive flames!
Stay back, my friend. As thrilling as the stage, though not half so bloody. What do you think, Source Hunter? Shall I start shredding from the top or the bottom?
Die, vermin!
I trade my gauntlets for a hot drink.
On the men!
Feel the dragon's claw!
Battering ram!
Your enemies are my prey, Source Hunter.
You don't have a leg to stand on.
A stitch in time, eh, my friends?
I'll defend you till my death rattle.
Cruises. I'm stunned. Without aid, I will expire soon.
A stitch in time, eh, friends?
Here lies Valius the Mute, whose death was unheard of.
I needed that.
Into the fray once more.
Welcome back, Source Hunters. I've been eagerly expecting you. You found another star stone, haven't you? Go on. Ask me how I know. Aha! Mere child's play when you know what to look for. And luckily, I do. Do you remember when you first arrived on this plane? When the dormant portal that led us to this hall sprang to life? It's happened again, my friend. Another portal has reignited. The end of time is growing by the stone. It's all connected somehow. You, this place, the void, the stones. Soon we'll have unraveled the whole truth. Oh, how I do love a good mystery. You don't imagine that I'd presume to explore it before you? No, that would be most unmannerly. And not to mention, well, No, I'm sure it's nothing. It's just that beyond the portal, I sense a presence that I can't quite account for. It is at once powerful and faint. Perhaps only a shadow, perhaps more. But this is only speculation, of course. Come, let me show you the way. Once you're through, you'll be able to report exactly what we're dealing with.
What an impressive room.
So it is. A hall fit for kings.
Leos ral edu, grahime.
You. It cannot be you. But it can only be you. The Guardians. Those I deceived. Those that deserted me. But oh, how weak you have become. As weak as you used to be strong. Look about you. You used to lead, and now you follow. Ignorant of your faults, and ignorant of your fate. That it has come to this. Woe to the world that it has come to this.
He won't believe me, the fiend. But they have come, as I prayed they would. Could they save me yet? Is there still hope?
Well, wouldn't you look fine with a strapping warrior at your side? Or is it mages you prefer? An eagle-eyed ranger? A stealthy pickpocket? Take your pick of my swords for hire. Of course, Chief. But maybe you ought to get rid of...
Who do you think that creature in there was?
I haven't the foggiest. But the eerie bit is that she seemed to know us.
Aha! The Starstone Seekers return. Most fortuitous indeed, for I have been pondering over the nature of our shelter plane like a poet over his muse. For now, I will refrain from entertaining, or, as the case may be, annoying you with hapless conjectures, until in the maze that is my mind, I happen to stumble upon a clue more concrete than mere theory. In the meantime, and in the interest of saving time, please tell me your thoughts about the lady you talked to in the Hall of Heroes during your previous visit. Deceive. Desert. Your words, they ring a distant bell, but they are but pieces of the puzzle. And yet, could she be? But no, hold your chattering tongue, Zigzags. You promised you wouldn't hazard any guesses, and you'll stick to your word. You have my thanks, friends, for indulging me. A new portal has opened, and no doubt you are as curious as I am to find out what lies beyond. Let's go and take a look.
This place looks rather cozy, doesn't it?
It does.
By the fangs of the void, it is true. She told me she had seen you. Yet never would I have believed her delusions until here now. They manifest before me. You have become undeniable. The scurrilous sentinels themselves. It is miraculous, irrefutably so. But oh, how low you have fallen. Look at what you have become. What was stars have become moribund, and you are to be pitied.
That demon.
And none too friendly either.
Another one for the collection.
Both are. How jolly. There's something quite astounding you must see. It's the Weaver. Thanks to the Starstone you've collected, she's mended a portion of the tapestry. Look, a new story has been rewoven into time. A new portion of history appears to us for the first time in not even I know how long. Let us look together.
Long ago, two great generals led mankind in a terrible war. The dreaded Void Dragon threatened all of existence, and man and gods alike joined swords to stop it. The two generals were celebrated as the rulers of all, and even the gods paid them tribute.
I greet you, Honorable Master of the House. I am the Shepherd of Elements, and I control how they may flock towards your most imperial presence. So, if it pleases you, command me, and the elemental aspect of your choice shall once more settle among these holy halls.
Speak to the statue before we know what you'll
And
find.
that is your final choice?
Yes, it is.
Yes, indeed.
Thy will be done.
Good gods, what an infernal heat!
Feels like we've landed inside the heart of the sun.
Guardians mustn't listen to him. His every word is poison, such as no serpent has ever known.
They glow with a brilliant flame. Even he cannot snuff it out.
Oh, but he sides with that which has no name. I know he does. He is betrayal incarnate. He tricked them once, and will try to do so again. I fear their will is weak. Too weak still.
You! What radiance burns from your being? Enough to scorch even the likes of me, I find. And that is no small feat. Most impressive, yes, most impressive indeed. Take care, my friend.